Shalom, lads. Say all praises unto Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors unto the apostles of great millstone. And shalom to you sincere brethren. It's going to be a quick video about, you have a guy out here in London that goes by the name of Vlad Zaitsev, a Russian, I believe, who's basically surgically implanted an RFID chip into his right hand, I believe. And basically the title reads, a man has surgically implanted an Oyster Card into his hand to save time. And that's his hand to save time. That's one of the key reasons, or one amongst many, but I wouldn't say the key reason, but one reason why they would sell the RFID chip to people. You've seen it in numerous other occasions, like they showed you with the people in the office that have in Sweden, I believe, or Norway, one of those Scandinavian countries or European nations, where they have RFIDs implanted in them for like ease of access and for security reasons. And this is the same thing he's doing in this case as well. So yeah, a man has surgically implanted an Oyster Card into his hand to save time. I'm going to read this article very quickly. A man has surgically implanted a chip into his hand so he can swipe through underground transport gates like a human Oyster Card. Now the Oyster Card basically it's similar to the Metro, well, not even similar, the Metro card ain't the same as Oyster. Oyster Card is basically like a credit card, a card with an RFID chip inside of it, and that's what you use in London, on the London Underground, in the city of London specifically, because outside of London it really doesn't, they don't have nothing similar to this. They have discount cards, but they don't really have an RFID chipped card. And this was launched in 2003. So I'll just read this quick. The Oyster Card is a form of electronic ticketing. Let me just check this out. Electronic ticket, e-ticket, digital ticket. Okay. Yeah, electronic ticketing used on public transport in Greater London. Greater London is basically, that's the city of London and all surrounding London boroughs. And there's like 32 boroughs of London. In the United Kingdom, it's promoted by Transport for London, TfL, and is valid on travel modes across London, including London Underground, Underground train, London buses, the buses, Docklands Light Railway, which is like a unmanned train that's really predominantly in southeast and east London and goes up towards the city. London Overground, trams, some riverboat services, and most national services with London fare zones. Okay, so that's really the point. Now, one point to distinguish, actually I'll get into that later when I get into this. Let me just carry on reading. Russian engineer Vlad Zaitsev sliced his hand open and inserted a microchip before stitching it back up. Okay, and this is the video of him actually doing so. It's a geezer right here. Shows you the use, the ease of entry. And it said he wrapped it in silicone so that it wouldn't cause no infection. As you can see, it's not the conventional RFID chip as a grain of rice. It's more a chip, kind of like a SIM card, but the same thing nonetheless. Okay, so apparently he says it's worth a 3-inch scar, and although he insists doesn't cause him any pain, he understands the hack is going to be everybody's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. No shit, Vlad. Okay, it is perfect. It is the perfect solution to not have to worry about losing an expensive season ticket. Another selling point: the ease of having it always on demand and not being able to lose something is another selling factor. But these are all the, the so-so reasons. They're not really like, because really the real reason is going to be, look, there ain't going to be no fucking food and no fucking shops. So you better get yourself an RFID chip, or there's going to be a disease. You better get yourself an RFID, and the disease one is the most likely, because Apostle Tar brought out before. He said, look, the main place you're going to get something implanted into you is the hospital. So if they want, and they showed you that in I Am Legend as well, those people that got vaccinated and they could pass the what do you call this place, man? Time zone, man. The checkpoint. Those people that could pass the checkpoint were basically those that had the RFID, that were basically RFID chipped more or less, and signified that it's all right for them to pass by. So yeah, those two reasons right there are going to be the key reasons, but these are going to be the many other reasons why they're going to do it. Actually, let me try and find something for you as well. Okay, YouTube, Black Mirror. Okay, wait, hold on. What was the name of the episode? Black Mirror. Time. Okay, hold on. Bear with me 1 second, because it just came to mind. Yeah, that's it. The entire history of you. That's a English TV series, which basically can go to some images. TV series of English TV series called Blackmer. You can find it on YouTube. I suggest you watch it. Basically, you have this guy. It's the main character in the film, in the episode, because these episodes are like various different episodes, are like alternate realities, and a lot of them are alluding to like Channel 4 in England. A lot of what they do is they do a lot of groundbreaking like episodes which really are in line with the New World Order. They had one called, I'll probably do an episode on going through many different TV series. I'll probably do that after this, Lord will, and just show you various things. So basically in this episode, everyone has, you see his eyes are kind of grey. Everyone has an implant inside them where they're basically recording all of their information about their life. So they can go, by the end of the day, they can go and sit down and recall it. And that's how their eyes will go like that. And that's the same thing the RFID chip does. It records all of your movements. Not as graphic as this, but it's on the same kind of level. So, but yeah, and then they showed you like he's taking out the chip and basically had upgrades and everything like that. That's kind of what it looks like. So it's really transhumanism, you know. So it's transhumanism, and those are one of the other selling factors they'll use as well. They'll say, look, it's some cool technology and everything. But yeah, he did, however, say that not all the scanners have strong enough signal to read the card, and that they don't always manage to read the chip. He's had a nightmare. So basically, this guy kind of, you got the mark of the beast in a sense, in his right hand right now, man. RFID chip in his right hand. So he's doing it now. When they come out with a real deal, hey, boy, he's gonna jump at the chance. Now I'm just gonna go through some comments of what the common public think. I should show you what's going on. First I thought, what the hell? Then I read Russian. And Eastern Europeans and Russians are well known in the Western world, like in England, for example, as being some crazy fuckers. So they're quite on it. That's why she's saying that. And I'm sure you know the same over there, wherever you're at. He does know that he could have pretty much the same level of efficiency by putting such a thing in a wrist strap. Yeah, I was thinking it because they had a trend in 2007, 8, 9, where they basically had people taking the old Oyster cards. You could extract the RFID chip out quite easily, and they'll put it in a wristband. And it was kind of like a fashion, you know, a trend at the time, just to look cool. You know, you walk through, put in a bracelet, some jewelry, and you walk through, and you just slide your hand over. Had people doing that. So he basically said like the chip would being in a wristband would be more effective for your skin. Okay. It says you guys will be devastated in a year's time when the Oyster card is scrapped and the contactless debit cards. That's another thing that's another thing they're going to do, man. They're looking. Basically, there's another problem with the Oyster card, and they're using the cash. Fucking hell. They've taken this down. Basically, they're doing another thing where you get card clash, where you basically have your Oyster card and you have your contactless debit cards, which can basically act as an Oyster card as well. Any card you have. So when they use in the same wallet, the money gets taken on the wrong card. So that's another way, a form of technology they're trying to get done away with. I mean, sorry, they're trying to have a ubiquitous experience with. So they're looking to. I'm gonna go into the history of the OS as well and show you how, over the course of time, they're getting closer and closer and closer to this ubiquitous technology with the RFID chip. And really, just going through these comments just shows you what kind of thoughts are going through the minds of people. And from all retards, he's a winner so far. Kind of points, give 3 years, phones will do this for us. But hey, grab a bottle of vodka. Forget the lack of 4 days. Should do it with PayPass. What's this? Don't know what this is. I'm not even mad. That's amazing. Well, you see, someone's kind of taken aback by it. Another Eastern European. He's had a nightmare. Yeah, I guess he's okay. Seems legit. What a knob. So you get mixed emotions from that. So now, this shows you. This is the coin card. Now this shows you the forward movement of the ubiquitous technology.
I'm here to tell you about coin. It solves a problem I think most of us have. See, my wallet is filled with cards. Credit cards, debit cards, rewards cards, gift cards, filled with them. Too many. This is a coin. It's a simple card just like a regular payment card. You can swipe it just like any other card. The difference between a coin and any other card, all these cards are inside my coin, and I can pay for stuff with any of them. I'm going to use the personal card for this.
That's showing
My coin
you
has all the same
joining together
It's just like my
multiple
debit card
different
when I
debit
swipe
and
it.
credit cards.
This is a business lunch, so I'm going to expense it on the business card. I just tap this button to select the right card, and that's it. How do I get my cards in my coin, you're asking? It's a fair question. I use this thing and the coin app to swipe them in. Take a picture so I know which one it is, and that's it. Oh, security. This is cool too. Let's say you pay with your coin, you've got a lot on your mind, you leave your coin behind, like a dummy. See that? The coin uses a low-power Bluetooth signal that knows when your phone is near and when it's not. In this card, all your cards. You can add as many as you want. And
What if your
it's still the
phone's
same size.
fucking battery's low, man? Or you
And all
ain't
you
got
ever need
no
is
fucking
one.
phone on.
One coin for all your cards.
So that's another form of ubiquitous technology right there, man. So you got multiple forms right there, man. Coins. Cool. So now, let's move on. Now, when you go to Nah. Okay, one other point I wanted to point out. Now, first off, one of the things they've done is okay, the one of the main things they've done, I believe last year, was basically they suspended all cash from buses. So basically, if you want to get on a bus, you cannot pay by cash at all. You need to pay by your Oyster card. So basically, you're being tracked anyway because you've got RFID chip that monitors all your movements. And when you buy one, you don't necessarily have to register your name, but the main thing being is that it's tracking you, man. So it can formulate if your card's sitting somewhere for 12 hours out of the day, or maybe 8 or 10 hours out of the day, they got your address more or less, so they can track your movements. So, but the main thing that just shows you they're moving more and more forward to a cashless society. Okay, and another thing they've been doing as of late is basically what's happened is they've what's the fucking word I'm looking for, man? They've all the ticket booths in the London Underground stations. Many of them are getting done away with, man. Because the joke is, I see it in my local area where I live. I live in Zone 4, which is kind of outskirts of London. There's 6 zones. If you're only in 1, 2, or 3, you're really on the outskirts. Outside of like 4, 5, and 6 is outskirts of London. Ain't the same kind of London as you see. It's more countryside-ish to an extent. But basically, what happened now is, yeah, in my area, they've basically taken that away. They've done away with the whole the London Underground station has done away with the ticketing station. But what they've done is they've just put a little hole in the wall, and they're just saying everything you need to do, you can deal with it on the machines, and the machines don't look like that. Train, London Underground ticket, don't look like that. The kind of, yeah. So they've done away with the stations basically. So it's more technology based, man. If you can't deal with the people no more, it's more technology based. And the joke is, even where we speak at Oxford Street, that's Zone 1, that's central London. Basically, that's where they fucking they've actually done the same thing they've done in my area. They've done there, which is kind of fucking surprising because you would expect there would be a lot of foreigners. So they just done away with it completely. So that's them further moving towards this cashless society, this dealing with technology. So everything you need to do is just dealt with on the basis of technology. That's the interface now, a technological one. Brixton station, a couple stations. So yeah. So now I want to show you a timeline of history, very briefly. This video ain't even meant to be this long, but it is what it is. Okay, London Underground ticket barriers. So basically they came out of it 2002 when people within the service had it. Then they issued it to the public for annual and monthly tickets. Then came into pay-as-you-go the year after in January. And basically what happens in London is every January they reissue the prices for transport. So when you go into this year was a pivotal year because basically what happened was all the years before, every time the prices went up, kind of, you know, they went up high, but they went up like crazy. Because basically for you to buy a paper ticket, an adult paper ticket before last year was like something like £8. And a child one was £5. But before that, I can remember back when I was like 15, a child ticket, you could get one on a discount for £1. So you'd have a zone 1 to 6 travel card. Used to use that shit when I go basketball training up in zone, like Whitechapel, zone 1, zone 2. So, you know, it was pretty cheap. But now the cheapest child ticket I had as of late was £3 last year, I believe, and then after they had this year is basically six. They doubled the price. £6. £6 is the price of a child ticket, paper ticket. But then they got the zip cards. They got the zip card is basically for the younger generation, like from 5 till 15 or 16 to 18. They have those kind of zip cards where they have discounted transport. So the paper tickets have gone up. Even for you to buy a travel card as an adult, it's like £12 for one day. And it's like £8.60 is the capping price on an Oyster card. So they're really selling you this Oyster card this year more than any year before. Because the price was it was like 60 pence or so different. So it weren't too big. But yeah, so main points, student daily price capping. Okay. Contactless cards being used on the London buses end of 2012. Cash no longer accepted on buses. Cash ticket machines removed from bus stops in central London. Yeah, oh shit, I didn't even realise they removed those. You used to be able to actually, if it was late at night, I remember this shit, they used to have like ticket machines right at the bus stops in the city. So you put in like £2.70, you get yourself a travel card or whatever. But they took all that, wiped that shit out. I actually didn't really fucking notice that. But yeah, they done away with that. So yeah. So really, you see everything that's been happening, that being a pivotal thing, no longer cash. And the main thing as of late is that Apple Pay accepted on TfL network. And basically, you see what they're doing with Apple is they also have another thing with Apple dealing with the streaming of music, where they had Drake speaking, where they do their events for talking about their latest product release, talking about Apple basically having a ubiquitous kind of streaming app where everything you want to stream, like what's these other companies, SoundCloud, there's one over and it's Pandora, all these different streaming services, Spotify, where they could all be unified underneath this Apple app for all the people. And basically it's going to be free. It was freely, I believe it's going to be freely updated, given out as an update sometime this year, I believe. So basically Apple's cornering the market because everyone's got a spy phone. So yeah, you know, that's them further moving towards this unifying, the one world order, unifying through technology. So yeah, that's some key points on that. So yeah, I believe that's a point on that. So let's see. Yeah, so with that, I'm gonna read the scripture. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink. Now what's the mark? It's saying if any man worship the beast, basically, and his image, that's you falling in line with this system, this new order that's coming out, that is already implemented through many different measures. But when it comes out and it gets rolled out in a whole, when an RFID chip comes out, when basically society plunders, because right now we're in the process of chaos. That's why you got women wearing fucking ripped jeans and men wearing the tightest fucking jogging pants or jeans you've ever seen in your life, man. You can see their whole figure in that shit. You got all the fashion senses point towards this NWO, this New World Order, and they're basically readying the people. All the imagery on the clothing, the music, the way everything is, it's you know, it's greatly demonic. And receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, and that's like the branding. Because even when you go into the word karagma, that means it's like injected inside, yeah, and that's what they're gonna inject the RFID chip in your right or left hand, man. It don't matter. As Nate trying to say, man, you get the mark, because it even says you get it in your forehead, man, and they don't know. It just said, and it said right there, in your hand or in your forehead, And that's basically you're showing a submission unto your leader, the so-called white man. So, and the smoke and the same shall drink the wine of the wrath of the of Yahweh Bar Shem El Shai, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone. That's when them ICBMs, Great Satan, comes from Russia with love. Yeah. The R-36, R-366 Russian missile. You're going to have a lot of these coming over. And they call that Satan. Nickname Satan. Okay. Fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels, in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up for ever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. That's right, receiveth the mark of his name. Yeah. Here is patience, here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Keep the commandments of Yahweh, Bar Shem El Shai, and the faith of Yahweh Shai. And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, Right, blessed are the dead which die in the Lord from henceforth. Yea, saith the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors, and their works do follow them. So basically that's saying be faithful unto death, man. When this RFID chip gets rolled out, man, you have to be prepared to put yourself in the line of fire, man. Be put to death to show yourself worthy for Yahweh, Bar Shem El Shai. So with that, that's the lesson, man. All praises to Yahweh, Bar Shem El Shai. Double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone. And shalom to you sincere brethren out there, man. Shalom.